A MAGA congressman has been caught on a hot mic saying Trump's name is in the Epstein files. Now, on the surface, you might be saying this is a political nuke. This is the end for Trump, but it's really not. It's really not. Let me play it for you. This is Georgia Republican Mike Collins. He says he's sure Trump's in the Epstein files, but the interpretation of this is what's most important. Let's listen to this and then talk about it.
I want to get to ask my question, which was, party unity, the Epstein files. I mean, do you think Trump's in there?
Yeah, I'm sure he's in there because he's the one that was telling the FBI about it. He's the one that kicked the guy out of Mar-a-Lago and then called the FBI. Yeah, he's in there.
So, I mean, what's going to happen? Are you going to vote to release him, or vote to keep him?
Oh, we need to release him.
You want to vote to release him?
Yeah, I have no problem releasing him, but you've got to go through the judicial. We all know that. The problem is.
All right. So Collins says at the beginning there, I'm sure he's in there. I'm sure he's in there. I think it's important just to be very honest about this. The fact that Trump appears to be in the Epstein files. I want to go back. The belief that Trump is in the Epstein files, because members of the House and Senate are saying it, and because we now know that Trump was briefed by Pam Bondi and was told, you're in the Epstein files. Just being in the Epstein files doesn't mean or prove that Donald Trump did the worst of the worst that is possible. Trump being in the Epstein files could be, and this is why we just need to see them. We just want transparency. I don't want to allege anything that's not in the data. Right now, what we can say is Trump's in the Epstein files. He could plausibly be in there merely because he was associated with Epstein. They knew a lot of the same people. They hung out together. Per Epstein, they were friends. It might be as far as that. There might not be a single allegation in there that Donald Trump actually did anything illegal with an underage girl or any of it. We just don't know one way or the other. Trump being in the files is sort of obvious because of his connections. But the fact that he promised transparency, although when it then became more specific, will you release these files? He was, I don't know. You don't want to wrap up people and stuff that they had nothing to do with. The fact that they have not released them after people like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino and others said, under Trump, you will get full transparency. That's what's suspicious. That is what's suspicious. It is also true that Trump is in a situation where releasing the files and not releasing the files both could hurt him with his most diehard supporters. Because on the one hand, if he doesn't release them, his diehard supporters will go, wait a second, we were told that this was going to be transparent and he's not doing it. On the other hand, if he releases him and he is in there, depending on what is in there, his supporters could say, wait a second, the calls are coming from inside the House. Trump is the very problem that he said he was going to fix. So I think there's a decent chance that Trump's involvement is what we might describe as creepy, but not in illegal territory. I believe that that's the most likely scenario, but we just don't know. I hope that the files do come out. We need to understand that when we start hyping these pseudo bombshells without really knowing what's in there, it is a story that Trump's in the files, but we should be careful not to go beyond where the evidence puts us. So I don't think there's a silver bullet. To be perfectly frank, I think no matter what's in the files, Trump survives it because there will be enough people who say, well, I don't know that I really believe what's in there. If it's really bad, Trump is going to be able to manufacture consent around Comey really did create the files. Obama created the files, whatever. So I think if we want to win, we need to focus on what moves people. We need to stick to what we know. And for now, it's demand the transparency Trump promised. If he's in there to a degree that's a crime, then we will talk about it. What do you think Trump's involvement in the Epstein files is? Let me know what you think in a comment. Donald Trump has already packed his second-term cabinet with loyalists. He's threatened deportation as political punishment. He's expanded executive authority in ways we have not seen in modern history. These are real changes that are happening right now. And what's even more alarming is that a lot of the media is either glossing over the worst of it or they're reframing it so it all sounds a little more palatable. And that is why I use Ground News. This is a news comparison tool. Doesn't just feed you headlines. It shows you here's how different outlets, left, right, center, are covering the same story. And this is one of the few tools I know of that can really help you detect the political spin, the bias, catch stories that your usual sources might downplay or not cover at all, on everything from immigration policy to economic shifts. If you want to get a bigger picture, a broader picture of what's being reported, Ground News is an invaluable source to keep you informed. And Ground News is offering my audience 40% off their top tier Vantage plan. You'll only pay $5 a month. Go to ground.news/Pakman or enter the code Pakman in the app to get started. The link is in the description.